I'm Eben Britton. I'm a retired NFL lineman and writer. And this is Deflowered. So I'd like to tell you about the first time I played offensive line. For as long as I can remember, it was my dream to play in the NFL, and my freshman year was the first year my mom allowed me to play football. She never wanted me to. She always thought I'd get hurt, but it had always been my dream to play. Freshman year of high school, I'm the biggest kid. I'm 6'3", 230 pounds, and I'm just determined I'm going to go out and play quarterback. And, I knew nothing about quarterback, technically. I didn't have a clue what it really was as a position and what it meant. And I go out for quarterback. I'm the biggest kid on the team, and I'm just throwing the ball as hard as I can into the chests of these kids running routes, and they're just like bouncing off, and nobody's catching anything. And I remember after a practice where we ran 40-yard dashes, and I ran a 6'3" 40, probably the slowest kid on the team. It sucked. I belong elsewhere. It's just clear that I belong elsewhere. Tony Navoa, the head coach of my freshman high school team, he said to me, he's like, hey man, I know you really want to play quarterback, but with your size and your athletic ability, I think you could really have a future in football as an offensive lineman. And I was just like, man, fuck that. I don't want to play offensive line. Those are like the big uglies. No chicks date offensive linemen, man. And he's like, look, if you really want to play quarterback, this offseason, I'll be out here with you throwing 500 footballs a day. But right now, I think the best spot for you is offensive line. That, to me, felt like a fair trade. Offensive line was definitely an adjustment. Totally different position, totally different mindset, but I just fall in love with it. There's no other place where you can get your hands on somebody and just bury them in the ground and just physically dominate a person, and it's okay. It's totally okay. People are cheering for you to do it. From a really little age, because I had been so big my whole life, I was kind of taught like you can't be violent, you can't be a bully, because people are scared of you to begin with, so you need to be somebody that, people feel safe around. I just fell in love with playing offensive line, I fell in love with the battle. I fell in love with just getting really good at it. I would do pass sets, all afternoon in the summers when we were supposed to, when we didn't have anything to do. And that was the same time I fell in love with writing, and I realized, I really wanted to be a writer. So as I'm getting all of these football scholarships, Arizona State, Stanford, Cal, Oklahoma, Tennessee, all of a sudden I realized, reading Bret Easton Ellis and starting to write on my own, I narrowed my decision down to which schools had a creative writing program. And at the end, Arizona was the only one that had a creative writing program, and they were one of the best in the country. That's how I ended up at the University of Arizona. Really, from that moment forward, everything I did year-round was about playing in the NFL. There was no second option. Everything I did was about being the best. Football's a physical game. If you want to be good for it, you have to be in great shape. And that means lifting weights, that means doing sprints, that means, running stadium stairs. I really learned that blue-collar work ethic from my dad.
Do you think you would have made it to the NFL as a quarterback?
That's a really tough question. The answer is no, I wouldn't have. But I think everything happens for a reason. Maybe in another lifetime, in another body, but for me, I think offensive line was the only thing to do. That's what I was meant to do. I'm a big fan of Sativa. My buddy's backyard, senior year of high school. Willie Nelson. He's been doing it a long time, and he's got a lot of really interesting ideas on it. So I think I'd say Willie Nelson. It's really this stigma of, cannabis being this kind of back alley scary drug that, only scary people do. I mean, there's a lot of, really successful professionals use cannabis, in their daily lives. Late night pizza, that's a struggle. Especially because there's this great pizza place, like literally across the street from the house, and it's just the worst thing that could possibly. But the pizza's amazing, Joe Peeps, give a shout out. Writing. I just get in touch with everything, with the story that I'm trying to get down on paper. It's just when I just shut everything else out. And it's just me and the story, and that's one of my favorite things. The Big Lebowski. Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. Just take it slow, and I think everybody's experience with it is going to be different, and don't expect anything.